Clifford the Big Red Dog was one of my favorite cartoons when I was a small child, and I still think it's a very good show for young kids. Even though it stars talking dogs as the main characters, not to mention the titular character being a literal giant, it still had storylines that were grounded and relatable to the target audience. Clifford and Emily Elizabeth were also just as pleasant characters that I wanted to be friends with them. In addition, it was my first exposure to several prolific voice actors, such as Gray Delisle, Cam Clark, and Cree Summer. It was also my first exposure to hatred.
Up the hill! Ugh, I should have just stuck with Mac.
Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate Jenna Handover since I first watched this show many years ago. In just about every episode she's featured in, she's nothing short of an insufferable, egotistical asshole. Despite her making this very clear time and time again, for some reason, her friends don't ditch her ass. Because of this, she's the first cartoon character I can remember actively hating. Hell, I'm pretty sure she was the first fictional character I ever hated, period. Yet when it comes to discussions about cartoon brats, I found mentions of her to be quite lacking. And I want to change that. So I thought I'd share 2 particularly infuriating episodes that really highlight how much of an asshat she is. Topsy Turvy Days just around the corner on Birdwell Island, where everything is backwards. Today, Emily Elizabeth is practicing walking backwards with Clifford when she sees Jenna in the rearview mirror. Sadly, Jenna does not get squished under Clifford's paw. When Emily Elizabeth talks about how she and Clifford won a first-place trophy last year for the race, Jenna is clearly agreeing with envy and pitches an idea. Since it's Topsy Turvy Day, they'll switch dogs for this year's backwards races. She doesn't even wait till Emily Elizabeth gives an answer before sealing the deal. We're only about a minute in, and already I want to punch this brat in the teeth. During their first practice session, Jenna simply tells Clifford to roll, which he does. Instead of elaborating on what she means by roll, she yells at him the equally vague commands of up, and things don't get any better at swimming practice. Granted, you would think Clifford would understand how all this works, seeing as how he participated in these races last year. Even so, this doesn't even begin to excuse Jenna verbally abusing and screaming at him. Topsy Turvy Day is here, and the backwards uphill race is about to begin. Jenna smugly declares that Emily Elizabeth will never get back, Jenna's dog, to roll uphill. Surprise, surprise, it turns out that Emily Elizabeth was able to get back to roll up the hill with good old positive reinforcement. During the race, Mac rolls up the hill with ease thanks to Emily Elizabeth's praise, while Jenna just shrieks at Clifford, who was understandably confused and may very well be just a bit scared of what she might do if he tries and fails. Meanwhile, Jenna is absolutely astonished at the fact that not being a raging bitch is how you get others to be agreeable towards you. Which honestly leads me to believe that Max should just ditch Jenna's sorry ass for Emily Elizabeth. Jenna is of course reluctant towards the idea of being nice, but begrudgingly does so if it means winning a prize. She just barely manages to teach Clifford the swimming race, and they actually win first place. She even apologizes to Clifford for screaming at him, which actually feels sincere. And that would be nice if there were many more episodes where she's still a bitch. Even after winning, though, she's peeved by the fact that Emily Elizabeth's second-place trophy is bigger than the first-place one, seeing as how it is Topsy-Turvy Day. Looks like someone needs to learn that size doesn't matter. This episode perfectly exemplifies all of Jenna's worst qualities. She's extremely competitive, which isn't terrible in and of itself, but she's also very self-centered about it, basically having an it's-all-about-me attitude. Additionally, she's also needlessly bitchy towards Clifford, constantly berating him for no real good reason. I know that there are unfortunately teachers and parents who think that just screaming at their children every time they get something wrong is how you get them to learn, but it's not all pleasant to watch on screen. And when these aspects are prevalent in just about every episode she's in, without any signs of improving or learning her lesson, it gets really old, really fast. Plus, having her friends constantly just putting up with her shitty personality over and over again just worsens everything even more. I hated it when I was 5 years old, and I hate it now as an adult. And in case you weren't pissed off enough, here's another doozy of an episode. In fact, even after years and years of not watching this show, I still remember this one being one of my most hated episodes. One of Emily Elizabeth's friends named Vaz is taking care of the local veterinarian's dog named Bob. Upon first meeting, Bob throws an absolute bitch fit, while Clifford is calmly trying to introduce himself. When the kids hear the commotion outside, Jen is of course quick to blame Clifford.
Clifford really scared that poor
Do you really want to shit-talk the dog that literally gave you a ride here? Unsurprisingly, Jed is spitting with Bob because trash attracts trash. And if you think I'm being too hard on this pup, just wait until the rest of the episode.
I wonder how this got out here.
Gee, I fucking wonder. The kids head to the coolest library ever, while Clifford and Bob wait outside. Bob tries to steal a lunch bag, and nearly knocks over a row of bikes, which Clifford gently scolds him for. But then Bob somehow teleports from the ground all the way up to the ledge. Clifford then saves Bob for breaking his legs, only to get yelled at, falsely accused by Jenna without any proof.
Clifford, why did you put Bob up on the ledge?
Go fuck yourself. The only saving grace in these moments is the fact that Emily Elizabeth defends Clifford without any hesitation. At the store, Clifford and Bob are waiting outside again when Bob starts freaking out at Clifford's friends Tebow and Cleo. Bob then tries to steal some hot dogs and causes the cart to roll away and cause a mess. The shopkeeper then blames Clifford and his friends for causing the mess.
I know Clifford and his friends don't usually do this kind of thing.
Well, if that's the case, then why are you blaming him without proof? Clifford's proven himself to be a good dog, and yet, here you are giving both him and his owner flack for the incident, when all you saw was the aftermath. As an adult, you really should know better. Then again, I suppose things like this aren't exactly unrealistic.
You poor thing, Emily Elizabeth. Little dogs like Bob and Mac are so much easier to take care of than a big dog like Clifford.
Emily Elizabeth, you really don't deserve this shit. Later, the kids are getting ready to fly their kite, while the dogs are ready to scavenge.
Oh, if there's one thing I hate, it's sharing.
And if there's one dog character I hate, it's your annoying ass. Predictably, Bob runs off, though to be fair, Clifford really should know by now to never take his eyes off of him.
Bob is gone, and every time Bob disappears, I end up in trouble.
Clifford, if I could give you a hug through the screen, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Instead of leaving Bob to be lost in the woods forever, the three dogs decide to assist in finding him. He's soon found to be digging around in a cooler, as we finally have someone vouching for Clifford's character. But of course, not before Jenna takes one last jab at Clifford.
Yes, Clifford's been impossible.
Jenna, if I could give you a punch through the screen, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Oh boy, do I have a lot to say about this one. This episode not only demonstrates how much I hate Jenna as a character, but also what I hate about certain kinds of cartoon episodes and tropes as a whole. First of all, Clifford is continuously blamed for things he never did, despite having proven himself to be an upstanding canine several times over. What sucks, too, is I can't exactly speak for himself in defense, being a dog and all. Then, when Bob is finally caught red-handed, or pawed, I guess, he isn't scolded or punished for his actions, just given an, "Oh, you," reaction. Yes, Bob looks like he might be a puppy, but child or not, it's absolutely infuriating to see this little shit get away with everything. It gives the impression that you can get away with anything, so long as you're small and cute. Finally, Clifford, nor Emily Elizabeth for that matter, is ever given an apology for being falsely blamed for Bob's troublemaking. And of course, Jenna was one of the worst offenders in all of this. Again, I know stuff like this is sadly not unheard of in real life, but having an episode like this isn't entertaining. It's just rage-inducing. And I know I'm not the only one who hates these kinds of episodes. And that's why I hate Jenna. In fact, I probably hate her more than DW. DW at least has had some entertaining moments. Jenna just plain sucks, and absolutely deserves a spot in the cartoon brat hall of shame. And honestly, Clifford should have tossed her into the Yosta a long time ago. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to click like, and subscribe if you want to see more.